when you bring out that, particularly the case, we have bodies like the Judicial Service Commission. Of late, of course, throughout the entirety of 2025, we saw how the Uganda Law Society representatives at the Judicial Service Commission, how the voting, there was blockade of voting, and it seemed like somebody was trying to fight the Uganda Law Society from sending representatives at the Judicial Service Commission. But if you're raising such points, and one of the roles of the Judicial Service Commission is to be a monitor of these judges, their credibility, I mean, how they do administration of justice. And that brings me to another point still, that if bodies like the Judicial Service Commission are there, and then you look at people themselves, that we have, yes, you've said they have become hashes, but is it, you look at the person of the DPP, by law, she belongs to the executive, but her day-to-day work is with the judiciary. Okay? That is another.
Repeat that.
The DPP, she belongs to the executive arm of government, but then her day-to-day work is this side of the judiciary. And in that very point, there is an important thing that I was looking at, and we've talked about this some time ago, I think towards the end of last year, that this person has the power to guarantee a nolle prosequi, I mean, to withdraw criminal charges without giving reasons. And the Uganda Law Society has been very vocal and critical of the recent nolle prosequi that have been given by the DPP's office. And I'm wondering that whether we are facing a constitutional crisis with some of the things that happen in the judiciary.
It's a very good question.
Yes, I want to also touch another point to it that bothers me. That several people, we've seen Malema Bidis recently, we've seen Dr. Kizza Besigye with Justice Baguma. These are people that you are being accused, and they are telling these judges, please, we feel you are biased. Leave my case, recuse yourself. But since the judges have refused to recuse themselves, now we see a person with much power, like the DPP, who has even the right to withdraw charges at any time without giving anyone reasons. And we have been seeing the statements that the Uganda Law Society has been releasing regarding this matter. And then the other first point I told you about the Judicial Service Commission, now that you tell us about the scenario of judges, that how do such judges or top cadres in the judiciary make it to this level, yet we have an entire body that is supposed to keep an eye, that is supposed to
I'm sorry to break you.
Role.
At the beginning, nakugambye sinalia, sinanyoa, sinakola chi, nwana talo zamwe. So, I was just catching a breath. Let me say this. Judicial Service Commission. Judicial Service Commission is DPP. The original Judicial Service Commission operated as a department of State House. Bajitanga government house yatulanga Entebbe. Governor yatulanga. It was a colonial office. It reported to the colonial office because colonialism needed judges. Okay, colonialism is about imposing a judicial system, a political system, and never a legislative system on the people. Judicial, not just not justice, because we had had justice systems, indigenous justice systems that grew in millennia and were even far more refined. We have the literature, okay, for justice,
Yes.
and so on and so forth. So the original one yali ejo. Era when we got self-government, netugisigazanga era an office ewabula president nti bano betukulondedde bwolabamu president nga banoonya judges ayita president ayita unit anti-corruption unit yali unit ye. When it came to our ancestors had a chance to write a constitution in 1995, bonna beevuma judicial service commission eyaliwo n'abalamuzi bennyini abali mu judiciary baga nti judicial service commission abatuulangamu. So when you look at the debates and everything, to take out the service commission nga tekyali ya president kakiiko k'abantu, era bw'ogenda mu articles bagamba to be a link between the judiciary and the people. Constitution yange eriwa katiba, article 147, functions of judicial service commission. I will jump A, B, C. Tugende ku D. To receive and process people's recommendations and complaints concerning the judiciary. To receive and process people's recommendations and complaints. Who are the people? Abantu abatalina buyinza. Okay? When you are a leader, you are not people. You are a leader. You are an officer of government, elected or unelected. You are an official. So, abakungu n'abantu. Okitegera ssebo? So,
Yes, sebo.
Judicial Service Commission recommendation ne complaint zefuna zina kuva muki mu bantu si mbakungu concerning judiciary and administration of justice, and generally to act as a link olutindo wakati wa bantu, the people and the judiciary. Eno clause abagiteekamu be baali balabye Judicial Service Commission ezaaliwo before teyaliiwo, tebanga eno clause yali mpya. Luno tutaddewo olutindo. Olutindo is a very big word. Tutaddewo clubhouse, ekibangirizi, tutaddewo church, everybody is welcome, tutaddewo canteen. When I was growing up, bano tebalina ba bus, wabangawo zi bus parks enene. Tutaddewo square. It's a public square.
Square.
What is the modern day equivalent of
Tax
such
park.
taxi park? No, they won't understand it.
Garden.
Maybe a mess. A mess. Ekigambo mess. Fabasoma masomero g'Abakatoliki. Dining bagitanga mess nti ekisubi bana balina no mixing levels, but wabanga before where you can mix levels. One we never if ngekisaawe, I don't know. But this is a place where abakungu, where abantu they come and talk about abalamuzi. Talk about abalamuzi. Ewokuvumira abalamuzi. We have a problem. Judicial Service Commission yawandika regulations last year. Negamba nti bobanga oleeta ebiwandiiko complaint, ebinyiizo ku balamuzi ne recommendations ki?
Okuwabulwa.
Ennongoosa, okuwabula.
Ennongoosa, yes.
Ennongoosa toteekangamu kivumo. Tugamba naye abantu ba bulijjo bakosa lulimi ki nga banyiivu. Lwaki obunyiivu bwabwe bagamba boogerenga? Why do you want us to address you as lordships? Ate nga tuvudde mu mbeera banzibako ettaka, mama baamutta. Lwaki ate oŋŋamba nti tondaga busungu bwo ng'onsaba obwenkanya? Siri mu kooti, eno si kooti. Nga bw'ogambye eno taxi park, eno taxi park. Mboozi za mu taxi. Actually, you're very right. Taxi. This is a taxi. This is a taxi. Wabangawo kagonde ka taxi. Mwakayitanga ki ku TV. What was that program of talking in a taxi?
Minibus.
Eno minibus. Judicial service is a minibus. Minibus. Abantu jukira tujijje mu government house tujifuule minibus. Abantu we batuula ne bali emmwanyi munaye nawe bakubako ettaka oze wetwaba abalamuzi kye batukola. Are you getting me?
Yes.
I can even decide to sit there and sleep there the whole year. Kyekyafe weewaffe era Judicial Service Commission erina okubeera ng'erina acres nga 100 of land nga erina emiti abantu bebaka just bebas because you know embeera yabakuba kati beebuuza nzirawa otegeera nazaalibwa mu maka gaabo kagendo wayo kusanga waliwo bayampulira gye balitusanga era ebyabeera edda okugeza akasozi akayitibwa ggulu wano emukono kabaka gyalina egundi. There are these people who go there to do pilgrimage. Ani father biki?
Yes.
Bayita mamitani? Kale tugende Sezibwa. For us in Uganda, stress bwe kuba ogenda Sezibwa. Gye twasamiranga. Agende Sezibwa. It has a meaning. Okugenda Sezibwa has a special meaning among the Among the Baganda. Hey, Bambi. But even these days, among these people, these revival Christians, waliwo bwe twali mu university, abaana bagamba nga baba bagenzewa oba biki. Nze sabigendanga mu fellowships, but they picked their places gye bagendanga. Yes. So the element of pilgrimage, the Judicial Service Commission is supposed to be a place which receives pilgrims that want to discuss justice without discrimination. But now it's a clubhouse for judges and elites n'abakungu fe batujjamu ng'abantu. Era kyobola batulwana nnyo nze nnwanye since 2015 through my Kitongole Legal Brains Trust tulwana omusango kati guli mu Supreme Court kusaba bannange ti mwabalamuzi mwe kennyini mwaba bakola etteeka erireeta ekitangaala mu nnono ez'okulonda abalamuzi okunoonya abalamuzi okubapima what is that assessment and evaluation okuba bino byonna tubikole mu lujjudde tubalage eri eggwanga abalamuzi nga tebannayingira office walina okubaawo akasengejja ke bayitamu ennono ze bayitamu tubajjukize nti bannange office gye mugendamu si abakungu yaffe twalina ekkooti ebigambo kooti nabipya nnyo zino kooti za buwambe zino kooti za Governor Cohen. We can do justice ourselves by other means. Era nze bw'olaba when Matthew Kanyamunyu bwe yasalawo cross ya Karuma agende wa Kwao compound namwegattako nga looya namwegattako ne mugamba kirungi nnyo nti gwe omwana ow'eŋŋoma otegedde ennono zaffe era ne tulwana okulaga omulamuzi mu biru nti ssebo tokyalina buyinza nga bw'osuubira tulina bye batukolako eggulu ebimala. How can you be more aggrieved than the family? Where is family justice? These two families have gone through cultural connotations that mean complete justice. In fact, Kanyamunyu yambulira nga Isaac waliwo ebikulu ebisembayo bya sitanaba kumaliriza sagala genda luzira nga sinnabimaliriza ntira baloya bange mbasabye baseka busesi naye njagala application egamba omulamuzi nzikirizayo emyezi ng'esatu gyokka nsobole okumaliriza ennono ezisembayo tezasooka kubaayo kubanga maama yalwala. Omukazi mulwadde naye omukazi bwetwa matoputo ena stages bwetwa mu stage eyokubiri yayogera mu lujjudde nti kati oli mwana emirimu gy'oli kati gigyo oligisobola nti ye bw'oba oligisobola kimala nze kati am now whole ate munnanga abaana tubazaalira nsi omulimu gw'abaana nga maliriza. Yeah, and that's why I've decided very simple since Wagambia I'm speaking from the
I lost you. I lost you, Council Isaac. Mr. Semakada, I lost you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody that is still tuned in.
Because every time we take it, 2 articles.
I had lost you.
I know that you keep up with my writing and everything and so but all these people don't. They don't. And we have decided.
Council Semakada, I keep losing you. Council, I keep losing you. I think Timothy, help us. Give me thumbs up if you're hearing Council Semakade. If you're not, give me 100% so that we know how to rectify this. Kaja Timothy, are you hearing Council Semakade? If yes, give me a thumbs up. Council Semakade, I'm not able to hear you. I don't know. Anybody on space? Okay. Daniel gives me 100%. That means you're not also hearing him, right? Daniel Kamuntu, you are not hearing Council Semakade as well, not so? Okay. He has dropped as a listener. Council Isaac has dropped as a. I need to get him again. Yes, but as I'm trying to get Council Isaac Semakade return to the space, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody listening into the space tonight. Yes, thank you, Daniel. I've seen it. We are going the judiciary unplugged, the rule of law, and then it's an up close with, the Radical Nuba president at the same time the Uganda Law Society president Isaac Semakade. It's a conversation about the present, but then it's a conversation from the future. It's very important that we talk about issues of our time at the moment, where many feel that we have lost it all, because when we all believe that we've lost it all, or when we allow this confusion to threaten us, that means that we shall lose one of the most important elements of society, which is justice, but not only justice, but one of the engines that keep the steering going, which is the
Arnold,
judiciary.
can you hear me now?
Yes, you've returned.
Okay. All right, good. Now,
yes,
I want to say something about the Judicial Service Commission that will give you a sense of your judicial unplugged. I worked as a clerk to Justice Katurebe, Ngalimu Supreme Court, in Mengo. He was appointed a judge there in 2006. I joined him in 2008 as a student and stayed with him around 2010. Writing agenda, I was active as a law student. So, as law society president, I used to visit law firms and what. And I didn't really have that high regard for law firm culture and the culture of lawyers generally. There was a lot of contempt there for them. So then was there's nothing I didn't know about these lawyers and stuff. I also had gotten a wonderful vacation in a neighboring country in one of the top law firms. So most of the dreams I had experienced them before graduation and so on and so forth. So then nature stamani is abalamuzi. I wanted to unplug the judiciary. So at LDC bagamba nti noonya woogenda okukolera clerkship nze nawandiika ntugende ku kooti naddala ey'oku ntikko. Nobody had ever gone there. Not right, you're not running, you can even be your top students. Nafahamu sikwaganga tugende eri, we want to unplug the judiciary. So but tugendayo registrar era kati judge Henrietta Worayo not receiving abulungi nnyo. Twalinga basatu. In the end we were 8. Most of my friends were influenced to come when I told them the advantages of it. Instead of judge lawyers make you do all sorts of bullshit for them, judges don't. Yeah, and so on and so forth. I mean, lawyer kusaku board dad, okay, which judges don't. Katule yatutwalanga ku tea plantations ebuhweju, it was a good life. Tunyumyamu, but what I really wanted was a combined experience. Nti Katule aja kulaga life as a state attorney, as a private practitioner, as a minister of government, as a legislator, and now as a judge. That's a good mentor. But lawyer aja kulaga bugubi. Kubanga akyali mbugubi. Era talaba suubi talina. So then Katuleve akulaga regimes akulaga regimes nga over nga yalabako eyobote yali sala no myobote ya Museveni n'abeera ko lawyer n'ava mu government n'aba lawyer n'addayo mu government as a lawmaker n'afuuka attorney general biki. So then ate kati nga bw'ovala ogendako ewa Kanyehamba naye yali attorney general, n'ogendako ewa Mulenga naye yali attorney general, n'ogendako ewa Sekoko ayali MP, ne lawyer, and so on and so forth. All this experience in one roof. So fast forward in 2013, leader waffe resigninga because ayitaringa, not resigninga, Odoki yali abakulira retiringa. So there's a vacancy in the office of Chief Justice, and now banabalamuzi balina embavu, they were March, not yet bull. So according to them, balina ennono nti kati the most senior ngachi alina kumanyi alina okuba CJ. Of course tewali competition yawo. Katulebo ojja kivuga bulungi, Museveni n'agamba nti sijja kugoberera nnono zammwe. Chief Justice gwenjagala alina kubanga Chief Justice I can tolerate. Katulebo oyo sijja mutoleratinga. Katulebe first of all mukatuliki. Oli ensonga za Museveni, Katulebe mukatuliki ateeka amaanyi mu pop. Abakatuliki bano sibeesiga, njagala mukristaayo. Nkyanoonya omukristaayo agwa mu kabira bwezi ne bwe. Katulebe kabira yeeno njagala nga Museveni byayogera. So instrument n'agaana ogisayinga okumala emyaka 2 ng'agaana naye lwaki sitegedde lwaki Odoki mugamba agende ng'akyali 7 ate ng'akyalina amaanyi, akyalina agakola, bakyamwetaaga. Odoki was a judge in the Supreme Court and even the Supreme Court in other countries, even in retirement. I think Seychelles, Lesotho, biki. Sitegeera lwaki Odoki atuula mu Supreme Court ya Lesotho, Swaziland, Seychelles, East Timor, ate nga mu Uganda mugamba temukyamwetaaga. Does it make sense? Nga bagamba mu judiciary conference nga kati abantu abo bamuddangamu indosikola mugamba nti eyo system fa bagyeterawo, tolina kyotugamba, eyo eteeka. Odoki ng'akola consultation ya consultinga conference z'abalamuzi bagamba nti tuleseeko ekkomo kubanga tuyinza okussa ku bantu abalamuzi abatagenda kukyusa ndowooza zaabwe ate ng'ensi ekyuse. Abalamuzi obuyinza bungi. Then Museveni bamuyimiriza nti Museveni unlike you ffe omulimu gwaffe gulimu n'okuwandiika judgment eziyitibwa capital punishment okusalira abantu okufa. Reports have been shown that you can't live your whole life under such a condition of what? Of work. They are special. Waliwo endwadde ez'ekika ez'enjawulo z'olwala. Oyina engeri yes. Then life y'obulamuzi ekujja mu society. Ogenda okudda society nga tokyalina tokyategeera biki. So this is the overall a good thing. Museveni no. So it's a bad thing. Munsabe nkijjewo. So Museveni was gaming the age limit long before, and he was using things. And lawyers had to go to court. I think we were led by Honorable Gerard Karanga Kafureka, my old boy. Musango never was. Musango gukwata ku Judicial Service Commission. Judicial Service Commission yeyo. Yali Judicial Service Commission y'Ogola. Ye yasembayo kubeera Judicial Service Commission eri March. Esigadde zonna since then zibadde buulu. Now, Ogola was a judge after he had served Uganda in international capacity. So yajja Museveni jamusanga namuga nti nawe oli oba mu IMF ebiki nti lwaki tojja Uganda tufuula omulamuzi okufuula bino mu diaspora coordinates biki jangu tujja kufuula omulamuzi jangu, you're a good man. Era najja because of his networks and what. So namufuula principal judge. Now abalamuzi balina comments zebawanga. Ogola is a very nice man because awulira. He was the most criticized principal judge ever in the history of that office. Why? Because he occupied the office under a change of guard. Nti abalamuzi abali bajja bantabooba bani otegeera. Hello?
Yes.
Bali tayinga akusi bani a generation of judges was going. So he was leading. He was in charge of then leading a new crop. So that last generation nga bagenda bo bali bawakaholic nga ntabooba nti bw'osoma judgments zatabooba. For instance, omusango gwa public interest law, Tin versus Attorney General and Nema. Why do we all go to court? How to go to court on behalf of others? Okulwanirira eggwanga nga lawyer. Abalamuzi bedda bakozesanga nnyo English law. Nti gwe lwaki weefuula amanyi ennyo? Lwaki tofunye permission ya Attorney General? Lwaki tokoze eki? Abijjawo yali ntabooba. Naga nti bannange tukomye ebintu bino. Let us enter, tubuulire buli musango. So ntabooba nga bwe gandi yali mukozi. He wasn't a clown. Then ono Ogogola bagambanga nnyo mbu judgments yawandiikanga biki asiiba mu seminar conferences. Mbu yali gyali ayagala era bamusajja batunga bwe muyita eno ajja because that was his style. But it had justice. Ontegeera bulungi.
Yes, sir.
Justice Ogola yali tagaana invitation newe n'abeera yakujja kwogera abaana ba kindergarten. Ate yali at the same time ali mu system z'abali yali yeewa omulimo mu bagita commercial court. Because the deal yayina ne Museveni ne World Bank to come and make the commercial court project successful. Kubanga ye project gye yayina mu World Bank IMF okuyambako African governments okuteekawo kye bayita commercial courts. Okitegeera? So yayina entebe mu commercial court. Kati nga bakuwa omusango before Ogola baba bakutadde mu purgatory geyeena. Because emisango gy'abala gijja kutambula naye Ogola ojja muwulira nti yabadde mu episcopal conference nga wa keynote. Yayogedde bulungi nnyo nga mu balamuzi b'e Roma, abalamuzi abatudde e Roma. Bwe nali ku Supreme Court, even among our own judges, among themselves bagambanga nnyo Chief Justice naye ng'otambula nnyo ebweru. Conference ezimu z'ogendamu Chief Justice waffe Odoki mwe abamanyi, but it can now be said, yagenda one time yagenda e Russia okwattendinga IT conference for judiciary. Kati Russia yali surprised he caused the diplomatic problem episode. Because of his rank, he had to be received by somebody of a high rank, a foreign minister, a judiciary chief justice, otegeera mu diplomacy. So bakizulira ku airport nti omusajja chief justice alina bwat ki foreign affairs bafuna too late. Nga balina okujja abantu bangi nnyo. Russia is a very big country. Balina okujja chief justice wa wessaza eryo owaki delegation y'abantu 17 okumureceivinga, because chief justice wa Republic of Uganda police chief alina okubaawo biki ne bamutwala mu conference nga mulimu bantu bambadde backpack n'okusenya tebasenyeza. Kati tebalina na high table. It's like a hackathon. You know a hackathon?
Yes.
So, and he's not going to participate in the hackathon. So, ne bamutuuzaawo nga just a monkey in a zoo. Ekyokulabirwako. Naye yali musajja mmekete nti yajja ennaku zonna. Yali ne speech yasoma naye nga basomera beebuuza nti kati bituyamba biti ebyo. Because for us we are trying to take judiciaries into technology practically. Musajja wattu. So it was a big embarrassment all over the judicial circles. Kyayogerwako yamugamba nti sebo kendeezaako ojja kuswaza ffenna ekitiibwa kyaffe kigwa. Nange atagenda osuula ekitiibwa kyange. That's the problem with the office of judiciary. Odoki bambi yali mwetowaze n'awulira banne n'akomya ejjooga eryo n'apreservinga the dignity of office. So n'ogola yabonaabona naye somehow office bwe yagivaamu ayagiddamu bamuyita Yorokam Bamwine. Yorokam Bamwine nali simanyi nategedde juzi nga awandise ekitabo nti omukono gwali gwamufaako because of overworking and these funny conditions of colonial justice. Naye Yorokam Bamwine he was a very good judge, one of the best common law judges betwali tulina. Abatrainingibwa bali Yorokam Bamwine yasokera from the lowest rank up to principal judge. Mu 2013 twakola dinner ey'aba journalists court reporters ne tuyita Aruna Kanabi yali omu ku ba award judges abalamuzi abasinze okuwandiika obulungi ebivudde mu kooti. Aruna Kanabi ne Lydia Nambiro be bali ba judges. Kati to hand over awards twalina abalamuzi of course ne chief guest. So chief guest yali Yorokam Bamwine principal judge. Another judge we had was Esther Kisache. Twalina yali omwogezi era omuwandiisi w'ekitongole kyabwe ekibagatta Godfrey Kaweesa n'abalala bangi. Aruna Kanabi before he starts giving awards yawa story n'agamba nti I can't believe that Yorokam Bamwine yakoze keynote yeeyo on cameras in court n'awagira journalistic profession and how journalists must be defended and how is the duty of courts. Naga nti munansonyiwa okuva mu mbeera naye Yorokam Bamwine nze mujjukiranga chief magistrate Buganda Road ayansiba for sedition as editor of Shariati nanyima bailo okumala emyaka 2 nansiba for just doing my own nti bwe ngatagattamu byayogedde kati ne byankola mu myaka gyange egy'obuvubuka. I see two different people, and therefore I must reflect and say, is it the case that it takes judges too long to be wise? Is that the case that abalamuzi kati waliwo Matanda yuno magistrate in Bali, somewhere there in Eastern Uganda, will it take Matanda 25 years to understand the principles as simple as freedom of expression? Or what does it take a big office for judges to be wise? Dina nefuka hard. Hauna kana bya tuchallenginga nnyo. Naga anyway. Maybe this is personal for me, but I have always thought that when this anger bamwine mu sitting etali ya balamuzi nja mukuba kikonde. Nja mukuba katayimbwa. Nja mukuba peva. Era kinumye nnyo nti yoro kamba mwine byayogedde binsanyusiza kati obusungu bwange bonna bwe mbadde nkaalinga emyaka gino gyonna nfunye n'envi sina wabuteeka naye nali namussa mu abo ab'okkuba peva. Yoro kamba mwine ng'awulira naga nti omponye nti wallahi halali nze nali nakweyama ggwe oli wa peva. Nagamba abalamuzi abali mu kooti mwe balooya ba prosecutor mubeere careful n'emisango gy'abantu nti ono bamwine gwe muwaana nti kati ye defender yeki Isaac byogera bino sibitegeera bamwine Garcia bamwine yali Ash kati mungamba afuuse match. How does Ash make fire? Make it make sense. How does Ash beget fire? Mpakanye yoro kamba mwine is just acting. Bino byayogedde byakwisa mukolo. Yoro kamba mwine had one chance to show fidelity and he failed it in me, and I have the proof because waliyo baloya abansi uzira ne bangamba ebyokusaba bailo ne bamwine gwata kuwa bino bino bimulaba bana bato principal D sibipia eyo bailo ya mufumbira ebaluma nnyo naye ffe abalina records tetuluma n'akatono sibipia bayiro kamba mwine abo bali babi nnyo nga Justice Otema Museveni gwayogerako mu katabo ke nti Otema bwe tufunanga obuyinza tulina kumutema mulujudde. We have to do a guillotine on him. Abalamuzi bayigiroko Museveni yali munyivu nnyo and he got his wish. He's such a very petty and vindictive person, or maybe he wasn't. Simanyo wa yakyuka naye yoyo yamunya Christine nti Otema ali ku black book. So Zimbabwe was a very bad man. Naye kati yuno yaye no. You people, we are being manipulated. Yero kamba mwine nakyagoba kubanga abantu bajja ne bankayuzira ne bangamba nti Haruna, we are shocked that constitution Uganda yali yagiteekawo mu 8th October 1995 nge guaranteeing these things. Haruna bamusiba mu 96 awo, if not December of that year. Kati bamwine bamulaga constitution nagamba nti constitution bye biki tombulira constitution Garcia ovumye Museveni bagita sedition ovumye Museveni byeno ku kivumo ki. I think he had the title had been that it had been that somebody had visited Uganda's 40th district, something about the 40th district, to refer to Rwanda as the 40th district. Ye yali charge nti ekyo kyanyiziza kyalebudde olebudde president omuswaziza ogamba otyambu omuswazi otya mu Rwanda ate nga is trying to make bichi. That's it. Bamwine was ne yefula anyize nnyo ku Museveni tajja mu court kati ebuuza nti gwe omulamuzi obusungu bw'oli obujjawa Lwaki tomuleka n'agweyogerera? How do you be angry for someone having simanyi? Are you as a mulamuzi, are you not supposed to be, aren't you supposed to be in your toe? Why are you making the case for Museveni in my absence? Nti mwetondere nkute. Bwe mutanga mweko nti wetondere Museveni sijja kuta nga tomwetondedde. Ate gwe baŋŋambye Shariati muli ba ADF. Sinza kuta you a terrorist. That is Bamwine. Era yawandise ekitabo memoir. Bino bimemoir zaabwe tebabiwandiika. Nti memoir era ali awo era kati namulabye mbu is keynote motivation speaker agenza oba mu ssomero ki. Anyway, now Bamwine used up all his time as principal judge ku mikolo. Yalina ne red card. Nze okundaba onsasula zino bodyguard wange zino neki. It was a business for him. Otegera sebo.
Yes, sir.
So when a judge makes a red card, nti nze okumpita mu nzija balina sente bw'omwandika application PO yakubuuzanga nti judge asobola okujja naye these are his terms. Nze namuyitako, so I have ever paid those terms and I thought they were okay until I began reading amateeka agabafuga nindaba nga bansala ensawo, principal judge yansala ensawo. That's when I took up judicial activism. Nengamba kale nali happy judge twamukubira ne mu ngalo. Naye Haruna Kanawe yaŋŋamba nti this man is performing. Ngenda okulaba nga kyo mutuufu because judge yali diikuula. Yagamba semina yammwe mumbulire ebyokwogera mumpe draft nzije mbyogere. Like it was talina kyeyagattamu. So nebuuza, how has this come about? How did Haruna know that the judge is a gun for hire? He talks for whoever is paying the highest. Whoever can afford his fee. We had money. Twali bana bato nvumbulo. Sente tuziwulira zitwesika. So I began to notice. Now I took you back to Katwebe.
Yeah.
Katwebe bwe tumala okuwangula olutalo. Museveni twamusuubinga busuubinzi. Kalwanga yawangula nti Katwebe is the proper judge. Museveni nasigala nga awakana. Nindita omusango nga gusaba order bagita Mandemas Museveni bamuforcing okusayininga bwagaana judiciary esayininge instrument of appointment for Chief Justice. Ate Museveni eyebeera impeachable offense ayite mu proceedings of impeachment. Kati eyo case batya nnyo giwulira. Era omukyala yagiyina yali Elizabeth Musoke. But she was very professional. She received our arguments. Nagamba nja bayita okuba judgment. Kati ku lunaku lwa judgment, she was ready with her judgment. Aba aliko okusoma bwati atu-recordinga. Ali avudde mu office ya Attorney General nagamba nti judge, when you served the notice, we informed the appointing authority. This morning we've been received notice that there is no need for a judgment. The president's office has confirmed that the thing got lost in mail. Bali bagiweereza dda naye waliwo yabweyawulira. Please don't make a judgment commenting about how the president does his work. Give me tukyaginoonya yabulira mu office yaffe bwatu bwe yagamba. Munange instrument yajja ego naye neebulira mu office. Tukyaginoonya today it's now 10 but we're up to midday. Nja kujja nayo midday nga tenajja. Naddamu n'asaba mpaka mwenda nejja. Omulamuzi n'agamba Isaac, I think now you don't need a judgment order. Katwebe has got in his office. So Katwebe tumubanja twamulwanira okutula mu ntebe. So as a former intern nagenda omukyalira okumuyozaayoza tunyumyemu tunywe ku kyayi. During that meeting, after nampitizamu programs biki, yes, then later on in the course of my work nafuna obuzibu na representing abaana aba UCU be bali bagobye nempangula omusango. Judge n'agamba expulsions are illegal, biki UCU ng'erina abalamuzi bangi ku board. Actually UCU originally yatandikanga law school y'abaana b'abalamuzi. So they thought they can never lose cases because they control judiciary. Ku council balina abalamuzi bangi ab'amaanyi biki. That's the notions they used to feed them students. But ono bawangula abantu bangi bavanga UCU abakozi naffe munnange tuwaabire ku musajja oyo Ssenyonyi ng'abadde atuki ky'omukoze naffe tuyambeko. So UCU newandiika ebbaluwa through their lawyers nti tebakyagala judge atuule mukono, bawandikira bamwine nti judge gwe watusindikire mukono atufuukidde mu Luganda mukiyita ki?
Ekizibu.
Atufuukidde too much trouble. Either mujje eyo otuleetera omulala ategeera ekitiibwa kya UCU, ekitiibwa kya kyaki, oba emisango gino egiri sensitive tugimuggyeko gituwe. Alabika alina evvuunya ate bambi judge mulokole. So yoro kamba mwi nagaki okikiryoke njabawa judge omulala nagwa olayo nengeri walo muga olayo. How does a principal judge take a case from a fellow female judicial office and give it to you? No tables, and is this proper? The other judge is on leave. File budget BM office. Literally, it is theft.
Wow.
Ne bagireeta ono ate bamwine nga bwe nakugambye was a cash box judge. So it's cash box justice. Kati bwezi file weze olayo nangamba, are you sure? Isaac nemugamba all these things are true. Nangamba, give me my time, I investigate. Na investigating tugenda okudda nga agambye take back this file to the principal judge. If it came because of a complaint of people, let them go and argue their complaint before the judge, which is the right procedure. Bamwine file nagiwa Sekana nga yakajja. Sekana nitumugamba the same arguments nti file eno wolayo agiganye lwakuba kityobola ekitiibwa ky'omulamuzi ow'emukono. This is about undermining the judge who is at mukono. Also, you reject the file to the principal judge. Principal judge ayezeeyo olugezigezi lwampanga. Baloya bamanyi abayitibwa mpanga. Abalowooza nti be baloya b'ekyaki ye Namirembe. Lulina okubako ekkomo. Nti kale ono ye n'agamba nti no, baŋŋambye mmwe oli omukazi mulina ddiiru naye fayiro bagimpaddira lwakuba ndi musiraamu kambalage muzire mu justice. Era n'asala ebintu eby'ekisiru. So nengenda okumuloopa. During that battle nagendako okuloopa ewa Chief Justice. Chief Justice nangamba nti bamwine mwinako complaint nyingi nnyo. Neyiyo bambi ate kati yiyo ndowooza nantono. Nemugamba nti ziwazo nanga nyingi nnyo nandaga fayiro. Nangamba nti naye esinga okunnuma bamwine takyawulira misango. Nze Chief Justice Katulebe ntuula mu kooti n'empulira emisango n'empandiika judgments. Seebuzaabuza nti guno omulimu gw'amaanyi nnyo nina kusiiba mu conferences. I should clown. Are you getting me? Oba gamba nti waliwo judiciary eguddewo eryato ngende mbe ku lyato. Mwalabye ekyali ekalangala. Chief Justice ne bodyguard be bonna bagenda ku lyato ne principal judge bonna ne bagenda kaato. How much money do we spend on ribbon cutting? So this ribbon cutting, Chief Justice basiiba mu ribbon cutting, okugulawo foundation stone embalala bonna ne bagenda. Ate ko Chief Justice abaddeko oli Owinidolo byayagalira ddala okukola nga tatula mu office anoonya weewo okwogera okulaga abantu nti Chief Justice naye nga Chief Justice omutwe gulimu buugi, talina na briefcase, talina na diary, tamanyi na kigenda mu maaso mu Supreme Court. Owulira sibo? Eyo judiciary eyo. So judiciary collapsed under clowns. When clowning, when being a chief justice moved from being a chief justice to a clown justice. So Katulebe was the last chief justice. After Katulebe, the next order of the office was a clown. Yali ani oyo?
It was
Si Owinidolo.
Chief Justice Owinidolo.
Yeah, Clown Justice Owinidolo. He attended to globe trotting, ribbon cutting. Now, one article over Gina. What article online? You can Google. Bajita. Supreme Court has an Owinidolo problem. Supreme Court has an Owinidolo problem. Can you Google it and find it?
Yeah.
Nyange gabwenji no nyawano. Supreme Court has an Owinidolo problem. Article eyo yali yakubiri mu series.
Yes.
Nagiwanika mu
23 November 15th.
Yes.
In the Observer.
At the end of November. Now, in November 2022, nali mpandise article egamba nti why are Supreme Court judges earning money for free? We are unplugging the judiciary. Kati nonye endala. 81 why are Supreme Court judges earning money for free? Nayo ogiteekaawo.
Why? Yes.
Kati
Yes.
tusooke ne Supreme Court has an Owinidolo problem. Supreme Court has an Owinidolo problem.
Yes, sir.
Tugenda mu title. The back stops here. The back stops here. Title yale the back stops here.
Yes, sir.
Ogirabe title eyo. Tandikirawo. Read. Nga bwenja ku mmere.
Okay. This is what it says. According to Rule 20 of the Supreme Court rules, the sittings of the court and the matters to be disposed of at those sittings shall be determined by the Chief Justice. Currently, there is a backlog of more than 25 constitutional appeals at the Supreme Court with no indication of a solution from Owinidolo, who is famed for scapegoating, globetrotting, ribbon cutting, and non-judicial speechifying at the taxpayer's expense.
To come out of Vunule Mpola. Ndi amanyiddwa for what? Number one?
Scapegoating.
Do you have the perfect example of his scapegoating?
No.
I'll give you two.
Yes.
Esoka, Seattle.
Okay.
You. Your traditional leader. When he was sick, they gave him the national airplane to go to Germany. Now you're complaining. Is it because my brother doesn't speak your language? Is it because Olanya is a choli? Anayogede bigambo ebyo.
Chief Justice Owinidolo.
Namala nagenda embuga ne Europa. Nasawe ekisonyiwo. Another example of scapegoating, the Chagulanyi petition and how he treated Esther Kisache. What's the
Yes, sir.
Do you have that context or you don't?
I do.
You can explain it to the people. Mpola.
So
what you know?
Yeah, so what I know from the Robert Chagulanyi petition of 2021, the justices had together decided to give their verdict after the election petition, but then Justice Esther Kisache had her own that was different from the rest of her colleagues, which is okay because she wrote her own judgment and it's allowed. So Justice Kisache faced ridicule from the Chief Justice, and she was treated. One of the things, how she said she was refused from accessing the premises, how some of her files in her offices were tampered with, how she felt her life was not secure, and she was saying this was in line that the Chief Justice, who they sat at the same court, which was the Supreme Court then, was involved in all this, according to her. That's and then in the end of it, we saw how she left the country to exile, and then from the Chief Justice or from the judiciary, it was regarded as matters of conduct by the Land Justice Esther Sache. So until today, she lives in exile. Yes.
Ogezezako. But an art for which you can read from that. But see those outbursts is not out of character. CJ Oni Doro's CJ Oni Doro, not out of character.
CJ Owinidolo.
It may or may not be possible. I wrote it for the mainstream. It was a website for Eliasa Muchivi, I cover monitor before he joined politics. And I think it's closed, but it may still be there.
I can't find it.
You can't find it. We go, okay. Tuchite, ogezezako fairly well.
Yeah.
Tugende ku ndala. Globe trotting kitegeeza ki? Okusiiba ku nnyonyi.
Yes.
Kuba oli munakyalo nnyo, ofunye office ekuwa diplomatic passport, visa ez'obwereere, so osiiba ku nnyonyi. Nakuwadde example ya former Chief Justice. Kati oye banne bibanyako nti Odoki yatuswaza ogenda e Russia n'atuula mu meeting y'abaana abaki abato. N'atuula mu meeting y'aba IT staff ba judiciary zonna. Yes, and IT students. You know, that history is dead. Teri gy'omuyita jatagenda. Ayagala nnyo okulaga abantu. I'm sorry I can't be there because tujja kubeera. I will be away in Germany. I will be away in Namibia. We shall be. What is special about talking about mediation? Ompulira?
Yes,
how many meetings, how many conferences about mediation should our judiciary leaders attend? What is the outcome from these things? What is the policy? Mweba namawulire. Mwina okukyusa engeri gye covering a judiciary. Ompulira?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You must start to ask this information. Era ffe mu Radical New Bar tulina program gye tugenda okulaunchinga. Egenda okuyambako abantu okutegeera nti twagala Omunnayuganda amanye what did it cost them under Clown Justice Odoki in air tickets and travel. And we assess each to the way. Inland and
out.
Abroad. Yeah. And how is it connected to the mission of the judiciary? And how does it compare with peers? And how many days did CJ Martha Kome give to foreign travel and compare them? How many days of foreign travel did Magara impose on Kenyans, and we compare them to the comparative time of CJ in Uganda? How many trips of inland travel and how much judicial time then did he spend? We need this data. Katongole.
Yes, sir.
Ndaba nnaku zino musoma data journalism. These are the stories. This is how you unplug the judiciary. This is how you unplug the, and there's a lot of money to help you because a judiciary is a very important institution of the people, and there's a community to support you in watchdogging it. Nze nakikolera bwereere. I wasn't pursuing money. I was doing it for, the good of my country, my profession, my people. And I'm happy that my lawyers, my colleagues appreciated when I told them, bana abantu mubampeemu. Mubampeemu. Give me the honor of being the first president at Uganda State House. Temujja kwejjusa. Ne bakkiriza ne bampa mandate. So, nkulaze clown. Have you seen where the beginning of the fall
Yes. Yes.
started?
Very important.
In Cuba, where it began to rain on us.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
You can continue a little from that article. Tugenze ku kirala.
From there, it's whereas it may be argued that
Waliwo accusation endala.
ribbon cutting.
What is ribbon cutting? Yogera kweyo. Ribbon cutting is inland travel. Ribbon cutting is inland what?
Travel.
Yeah, whenever they travel inland, what do they do? Have you noticed?
They travel as a team.
Have you noticed what a chief justice does when he travels inland?
No.
What does it add? You use the most recent example. Ono go to appointing in January. Abadde akola inland travels.
Yes.
Follow them and see. What has it been doing?
What is it?
Kati bayize n'omuze obakulonda omulamuzi bakola ne graduation party. If Ntaboba would come from his grave, he would be shocked. But bakola ne graduation party, ne bakola ne Thanksgiving party, ne bakola ne misa. Nti bampadde obulamuzi. My God. Office ya Wanjiku si ya bakungu. Akuwadde obulamuzi si mukungu. Akuwadde obulamuzi Wanjiku. Mutagobya ekyanna mukaka atalina saati. Nawulira nti nkuwadde omulimu otule embuga oyisa abakungu. Are you getting me? I have given you a job to check power. The job of the judiciary is only one, singularly one, to write orders against the government. Period. That is the most and significant definitive job of the judiciary. It is the only place we can go to seek an order that government action is unlawful. Because once you are in government, in the executive or in parliament, you can do no wrong. What you say and what you do and what you think is the law until it is set aside. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So the power and the duty to set aside government action is the most consequential use of judicial power. Enkayana zaffe wakati wa Mulindwa ne Mubiru tezeetaga balamuzi tusobola okuzitaawuluza ebweru w'ekkooti. But we cannot kutaawuluza government action. Ontegedde oba?
Yes, sir.
We cannot. You see now, kati ono aliko mufere nnyo nti batambula ng'oli munne. Ate n'oli ayamutraininga yali mufere ayitibwa Kavuma.
The deputy chief justice.
Yamutraininga ng'akyali ku deputy chief justice. N'amuyigiza zino empisa embi. Kati empisa embi ezisiye kati ze balina. Bagala kutta judiciary completely. They are members of judiciary. But every day they say don't come to court. Every day. They say mediation. Babikirira mbu nno twabawa office ezo to rule against government on a daily basis. It's okay to tell us not to come to court if the explanation is that we have enough cases against the government which can't go anywhere else. When you have a grievance against the government, you have no other remedy. Toys against our uncle. oba wa anti toyinza kulopa muntu mukika. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Government does not have a clan, a family, a sister, a relative. No, you must go to court. Government bekugulako omusango nti gwe katongole, you're publishing falsehoods on TikTok without a license. My brother, you need a lawyer because government yegamba nti ogwo musango era nakuwabidde yeekweka n'agamba nze katongole sinze yakuloopa sinze prosecutor siyo bagamba. Is not what they say?
Yes. Yes.
Nti bya government of course bya bulimba, it's a fiction. So government exists as a weapon of the rich and the powerful to harm the poor. And therefore, the single most important job of the judges is to control the greed and immorality of the rich and powerful in defense of the poor. The courts are for the poor. Omugenzi Nabudere, one of the original thinkers who taught us to think in vernacular. Hatugamba nti it is only the poor who need justice. The rich and the powerful have the law. And therefore, law and justice are different things. Justice is a joke and comedy to those who have power. It's a what?
A joke and comedy.
Museveni is not interested in establishing a justice system in Uganda. Which one does he want? A judicial one. That's why he's dealing with Besigye, not through a justice system. He's dealing with Besigye through a judicial system. He can hoodwink enough Ugandans that what's going on has a semblance of legality, even when it is outrightly unlawful. And he has enough lawyers at the bar to support him in that. Never defense lawyer, what. They are helping the regime in hoodwinking us that that's a judicial system. And that's our biggest weakness. We haven't been able to properly unplug the judiciary and rescue it from capture so that it can truly be a people's institution of justice and not a regime's organ of control through judicialism or judicial proceduralism. Judicial proceduralism is not justice at all. You a very important landman. You know Kafka, you know Dodowski, you know the comedy of our courts in Uganda is what you see. What was there in Russia before, during, and after the Bolshevik revolution. Russians gave up on the judges and law and lawyers. And up to now, we don't know. That's why they have the biggest mafia state. Because to them, justice, justice, they know it for what it is. That are judges, no. If a judge rules against a rich man or a powerful man, then he has not used his head as a judge. He has used his head as a citizen. Alamudde nga munansi, ensonga azirabye nga muki? Nga munansi. By the way, judges don't have to be that educated. Era mu America ne mu sendala abalamuzi just bayambako buyambi to keep order mu court, but the final decision yakawooya ne Nalule n'Opio ne Bwambale. Era mulamuzi abagamba mu 12 abalondebwa randomly mu ssaza lino kubanga muli balonzi musaze w'omutya ku guno tumutadde kale kyekyo munnange bamutadde nze nandisaze bulala naye bamutadde sina obuyinza bwabwe mu kooti zaabwe ez'abantu abantu be beesalirawo ani we gusinze. That's a justice system, not a judicial one.
Thank you very much, Kazwa Isaac Semakade.
I want to conclude with this.
Yes.
I want to conclude with the crowning.
It's okay.
Nkulaze crowning at the Supreme Court level, or you get the ribbon cutting. There's a famous picture of the crown justice Owidolo ngasote dongo. Ojumanyi, ojijukira. Do you have memory?
No, but I can get it.
Ngasote dongo. Ewawe ye patongo. Azimba church.
Yes, aliwe bakubira amatafali, is it?
Yes, amatafali, yes.
Yes, I know it. I know that one.
Yes. Ebyo yasibamu. Ebyo. You can imagine how much of our money he spent to go to that place. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Ebyo yagaliranga ddala. Ono omwana omubbi w'essente entungamo. African coffee biki.
Tugume.
Bidiru byabwe. Babimuteekamu. So yeekobaana n'ababbi ba ssente za kaawa. Ng'akyali Chief Justice. Babitaki okutwala coffee mu Northern Uganda. N'afuuka brand ambassador. Ye brand ambassador w'omubbi. Tugume omubbi. Yabba ssente z'abantu. N'agula Chief Justice nga brand ambassador. Era kyovulabanga emisango gye egy'ekibba ettaka entungamo tegitambula. Teryamukwatako. Are you understanding? Because
yes.
The Chief Justice was available for hire. This is gangster journalism. Sorry, justice. Pesabanga mu movie. Mwete mbadde mu judicial watch. Nenze mbadde judicial watcher. Zino articles zikuwa nyingi. Era ekitabo kyange kuguni mu kyerinde kukono omuyaye Crown Justice. Bamitani? Owinidolo. Mwinako book. His first act nga Deputy Chief Justice yali asente z'omugenzi Katolo Bwama. Natuwa judgment y'ekikwangala. Bamugula ayambeko Katolo Bwama okusigala mu parliament ebbanga eringi. N'asayininga judgment mu musango gwa Tawuza. N'agezaako okunsaba nzikize judgment. Ne mugamba ssebo tugiganye. Musango baguyita Buwembo Habib versus Katolo Bwama. Omusango gwawulirwa Deputy Chief Justice Kavuma gutosaba guveemu n'agaana ne tumugamba tujja gusala. Tujja kukolako ennono ezijja okukulemesa era yava mu judiciary nga tagusaze. Ayaddako ne Sheborion Barishaki ne Helen Obura. Kale no batuyita okutuwa ensala nga bagisayininze. Owinidolo, Helen Obura ne Sheborion. Sheborion yali agisoma. Nengamba Sheborion. Kaka n'amaanyi speed kendezaako. Sooka otubuulire. Nga bw'oli weka. We want to know. Ensala. Baani abaagusala. Go to the last page. N'agamba kandabe kambasomere. Deputy Chief Justice Owinidolo nze ne sister wange Helen Obura. Netumugamba nti katukujjukizeko emisango mwelabira. Situjjanga okuwoza before. Owinidolo. Naga bwe kiri nze yaŋŋambye